Welcome back to another episode of Jacksonville Buzz's Buzzworthy Business. This morning, I have Michael Cole from Tulsa Welding School. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Steve.
All right, man. We were talking offset. Everybody knows the brand. You are a trade school to help people that don't necessarily go to traditional college to get a trade, which is in extraordinarily short supply.
Yeah.
Tell us, who are you, and tell us a little bit about your college.
So I'm Michael Cole, and I'm the regional campus president for Tulsa Welding. We have a school in Jacksonville, just up the street here a little bit. We also have 4 other locations, one in Dallas, one in Houston, one in Tulsa, obviously, and then we have RSI, which is in Phoenix.
So it's a welding school.
Yep.
Trade school.
Yeah, trade school. We've got HVAC and electrical and the welding side.
And tell us, so in today's labor market, you and I have enough gray hair that we're kind of in the middle of this labor market. There's a lot of folks that are 10,000 people a day turning 65, exiting the workforce, and this is going to happen for the next 4 to 5 years.
Right.
You got a lot of people coming up, like my kids, that are trying to figure out what do they want to be when they grow up. What does Tulsa offer as an alternative if the 4-year degree platform may not be something that they want to do?
So Tulsa Welding offers a career in as little as 7 months. If you want to go do pipe fitting in addition to the welding, you can make it 9 months. The same is true for our electrical and HVAC program. And you hit the nail on the head. The shortage is really great, not just because of the retirees, but we've also had this push for everyone to send their kids to the 4-year traditional schools. Everybody wants their son to be a doctor and a lawyer, and their daughter to do the same. And that's not really worked out for society or for those students. So what we've found is we can put somebody on an alternative path, particularly those people that like to work with their hands, that like to do things with a hands-on experience as opposed to reading a bunch of books and doing that. Now, we do have books because we are a school, but the majority of what they're going to do is actually get in there and work with it. So when they leave Tulsa Welding School, the student's prepared to go out to the job market right away.
And, and there's good money.
Yeah,
there's
very good money.
And one of the things, never to go negative about organizations, but there was some negative news, I would say, for trade schools and colleges a few years ago, and as recently as last year, that they would go in there, spend a bunch of money, they come out, they don't get a job.
Right.
Or that maybe what they were presented was different than what they received as far as the thing. Now, obviously, you guys are a household name, and it's a very trusted brand. When somebody goes into it who says, you know what, I'm not going to be a doctor or lawyer. I'm not going to work in a bank. I'm going to be in construction. Giving them the pathway to get a trade, that gives them the pathway to even maybe opening up their own firm.
Sure.
What's that experience that student has, different maybe than some of the ones that had negative press, that they can expect with your firm?
So I think with Tulsa Welding School, we are very proud of our brand, as you alluded to, Steve. The one thing that we pride ourselves on is our accreditation and our relationship with the state and the Department of Education. Not to say that other schools don't do those things, but our placement rates are phenomenal. In welding, we're over 90%, and in my HVAC and my electrical, we're over 85%. So we do a very good job at not only helping the students come through and gain the trade, but also helping them find a job at the end of the line. We also do the things, we just went through one of our accreditation visits, as a matter of fact, getting ready to draft our response on that as well. So we have checks and balances for that. And I think the other thing that we take very seriously is we have a very good relationship with local employers. They come in and they talk to us about the program. What's it lacking? What do they need? How can we make it more relevant? And as we get that feedback from our advisory board members, we're able to make switches to make sure that our students come out really ready to go help the employer. So I think it's not just the accreditation, but also that partnership we have with the employers that are going to hire these students that kind of separate us from everyone else.
Well, and for the folks that are watching this that may be thinking, gosh, is this for me or is this for my child? One of the big things that you mentioned is your placement rates.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, that's double, if not triple, the national average of placement rates coming out of a trade school. That is like extraordinarily high. So to translate that to English for the folks watching this episode wondering, is Tulsa for me? Not that you're guaranteed a job, you got to do the work.
Yep.
But your probability of getting a job in the field by which you go and have that 7-month training, 9-month training is not just high,
yep,
but it's the highest it can be.
Yeah, I will say, as you said, we can never guarantee that you're going to get a job in
Right.
the field.
They got to have aptitude.
Yeah, they've got to have the aptitude. They've got to come. They've got to complete the course, and they've got to be able to do the back end skills. But I think what helps is we help with that as well. So we help the student get prepared with their resume. We help the student get prepared for the interview. We set up things like we call them phase 11s, where employers can come in and do welding tests on the spot. So they can pick and choose which welders they want, and that helps with our placement rates. And to your point, our accreditation standard is only 70% placement.
That's
so
right.
we do significantly better than what we're asked and tasked to do by the Department of Education.
That is phenomenal. So as we wrap it up, people sitting there going, man, maybe my, cousin, sister, cousins, brothers, uncle, or themselves are going, man, maybe this is something for me. What's that first step that they need to take to find out if Tulsa, whether it's welding, HVAC, or one of the other programs you offer,
Sure.
what's that best way to get that answer of what do I do next?
First thing you got to do is go to our website, www.tws.edu. If you do that, search for the information, you can find out all about our programs. You can contact an admissions representative, and they'll get in touch with you and bring you in, and you can take a tour of the facility, and we can go from there.
That's awesome. Thanks for coming on the show and helping, shed a light on what you guys are doing, which is a huge part of the economy. We'll make sure to hang your website stuff on iwannabuzz.com so that people can click through and I'll find all that stuff. But really appreciate what you're doing as we head to, this next generation of workers, to having them skilled and adequately prepared for the workforce, not just on how to spot weld something, but how to be a business person.
Absolutely.
That's fabulous. Guys, thanks so much for joining us on Buzzworthy Business. If you like us, share us. Remember, live with gratitude.